I know it was really exciting prepping your questions for our segment today. Can we start with sharing a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
Absolutely. So I'm Chef Zana Alvarado, professional chef, executive chef. I'm also a caterer and a restaurant consultant. I've been in the industry for quite a while, and yes, I really love it. Food is a very innovative and creative space to be in, so it really is my happy place.
A happy place indeed. And tell me, like creative, I would never have thought food would be creative. How do you bring the creativity into food? Share some of that with us?
Well, I am by nature a very creative and artistic person, and food is essentially a science and art that comes together. And with the food that you create, you actually give people memories and experiences, and it's a way of putting art onto a plate. Because I think that we not only eat with our taste buds and we taste the food, but we eat with our eyes first. We want to eat something that's visually appealing, that looks beautiful, that has color, that has aesthetic appeal on the plate, and that's what really appeals to the senses before you even dive in and start eating. So it really is a place where you can play with flavors, with textures, with colors, and just new ways to do things. So it definitely brings in a lot of creativity.
Yes, I know. And I know you're in the media. You were in the media, you're a media specialist. So can you share what sparked the passion that led you into this significant career shift? Why go into food?
Oh, so you know what? That jump was a very huge one, and it's completely different industries altogether. I was a marketing specialist in the entertainment space for radio and television, working for big brands overseas, primarily in the UK for the Walt Disney Company as their marketing supervisor, pan-European. With the work that I did overseas, I was very involved in different festivals, different entertainment events, and one of the things that I actually got to work on was one of the inaugural Taste of London franchises that happened some time ago. And there I got to work behind the scenes with Michelin acclaimed chefs
Oh,
and
wow.
amazing, well known chef names. And there I got to see what really happens behind the scenes. And what really stood out for me was the integrity and the passion of the industry. And I realized this is something I could potentially do. Although it was only many years later that I still made that jump, I had the opportunity to travel extensively throughout Middle East, Europe, Western Europe specifically, and travel at grassroots level, where I very quickly learned that every dish has a story, every dish has an origin, and my way and my food thinking started changing around the food philosophy and the type of food I enjoyed eating. And it very naturally allowed me to move into the food space in a way that I was not conscious that it was actually happening. And many years later, it actually just dawned on me, hey, this is something that I'm really passionate about. This is something that I really want to do. And so making that jump was actually a very natural transition.
Oh, mashallah. And that's was it a tough decision that you went in? Did it take a while? Did you know there and there that this is what I want to do, or did you research? How did you know it was that was your choice that you wanted to
I think
transition into food?
I think it was a progressive thing. There were little hints along the way that sparked my attention, sparked my curiosity and my interest. And the more and more it happened, the more I started to think about it. Started playing with things at home, innovating, trying different things at home from a food space. And my parents would totally agree when I say that growing up, I hated being in the kitchen. I did not like it at all. So if you told me back then that I would someday be a chef, I would say, you're crazy. There is no way that's going to happen. But I think, as we grow and develop, our interests do change. And as we see the world and experience the world, the things we like change, the things we eat change, how we eat and the choices we make is very changed by who we actually become. And so, yes, it was consciously a difficult decision. It was an established career that I was walking away from. But I
Mhm.
also knew that I'd be starting again from scratch. But innately or internally, I'm the type of person who never backs down from a challenge. And I thought, you know what have I got to lose? I've literally got nothing to lose. I've always lived on the philosophy that I would rather try and fail than fail to try. So that's the same thing that I put into this. That I thought, I'm going to step out of marketing for a while. I'm going to try food for a while. Let's see what happens. And well, here I am living to tell the tale. It happened, and
Oh,
it happened in a great way that fulfills me. And I feel that I've made the right decision.
so you are living your passion, like you say. You are
100,
living your passion.
100%.
Now you have a range of pantry products, the Zana Alvarado collection. What is it? What's its aim? And can you share more about that?
Oh, absolutely. I would have to say that this is a passion project. It's not something that I woke up one day and said, hey, I just want to put out a range of products out there and get it onto shelves and make people buy this. No, it wasn't that at all. This product range was a very consciously developed range that took 8 years in the making. In fact, just the packaging and design itself took 2 of those years. It was something that I wanted to do because I felt that as we eat and as we purchase, I was very becoming very uncomfortable with what I was seeing on product labels in terms of preservatives, artificial flavorings, just lab produced things that didn't have the flavor and taste that I like. I'm the type of person who likes to eat naturally. I'm very farm to table orientated. I have a very sustainable mindset when it comes to what I put on my plate and what is in my kitchen. I'm very environmentally aware of how our choices affect the environment and the degradation of our environment and our climate systems. So when I put this range together, I had all of that in mind. I needed to create a product that was economical, that could do more than one thing, that people could actually relate to, that gave them all the goodness without having all the gunk and the preservatives and all the things that hold it together, the binding agents, all the unnecessary things, because I think it's unnecessary. Natural food is the best food. You're getting your best nutrition, and the most nutrition, the more natural it is. So why put all that in? So this range was essentially created for busy people that still want to eat well, want to feed their families well, but you don't necessarily have the time to spend in a kitchen. So I think on average, many people are in a normal household. At least most people are working, or two people may be working.
Mhm.
So when you get home as a mom, you don't necessarily want to spend 3 hours in the kitchen cooking a meal for your family, but you still want them to eat the best way that they possibly can, with mindful nutrition, with good nutrition. So this range is simple pantry products that you can bring in and with very little effort have that restaurant quality and restaurant flavor in your kitchen at any given time. And because it's all naturally freeze-dried herbs and spices with none of the artificial stuff in it, it lasts longer and you can be rest assured you're getting the good stuff into your body, which is how it should
Wow.
be.
Yes, wow. When we get back from the break, I want to chat more about the table to the farmer's table. What did you just mention? You
Farm
said
to
the
table, farm to table.
farm farm to table. That's very interesting. So when we get back, we'll chat more about that after the break.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster. With so many investment options
Hi,
today,
everybody. I'm
it's
Chef.
only natural that you might feel a little confused which route to take. Should I buy shares or should I invest in gold bullion? Randery Jewelers now brings you the Zahab coin, an alternative to the Kruger Rand. The Zahab coin, a solid wealth protector in its purest form of 24-karat gold, is the safest way to protect your wealth. So don't just sit there and watch your paper money depreciate. Change to gold. Call Randery Jewelers now at 031-202-4701 or visit www.rjcoin.co.za, situated at 151 Essenwood Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
After the recent attacks on Gaza, many families have been displaced, with their homes left destroyed. Through your donations, our teams are on the ground in Gaza, providing support and delivering necessary aid to families affected. The people of Gaza need your help. Give hope. Donate today to Penny Appeal South Africa. www.pennyappeal.org.za 031 1100 573.
Are here on the ground with many appeal organizations in Gaza.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
Since, if I remember correctly, 2011, I was 20 years old then, reporting from under constant bombing. Everyone in Gaza, everyone from Gaza is a survivor. And right now, my family, some of them, have survived 19 days of constant bombardment, constant killing, and constant devastation.
Dr. Abu Salam, she's a Palestinian academic from Palestine, but she's currently residing in London.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, It could only mean Albeit Lodge, your true home away from home. Albeit is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities, conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities. Your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Albeit has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albeitlodge.co.za.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Hi everybody, I'm Chef Zana. I'm delighted to introduce you to the recently launched Zana Alvarado Collection, a versatile range of chef-created pantry products designed to save time in the kitchen and still bring that fine dining quality home. All of the products are multifunctional and can be used in a variety of ways. For example, my salad seasonings are easy to mix and make delicious dressings, dips for crudités, sauces for shawarmas, additions to pizza and pasta, and also can be used for marinating poultry and meats. The collection also features a yummy dessert spice that is perfect for baking and also for smoothies, hot drinks, or to sprinkle over fruit salad and ice cream. These products are natural and made with care. They have no preservatives, colorants, flavorants, additives, or MSG, so totally good for you. The collection is a practical luxury. I've put my heart into this collection. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. From my kitchen to yours, happy cooking.
Welcome back, and today we're speaking to Chef Zana Alvarado. Thank you, Zana, for joining us. Before we entered the break, we just seen this lovely video of yours as well with your products, and we were talking about farm to table. Now, what is your farm to table motto, or what is it that makes it so? What's the word I'm looking for? That makes it so unique and environmentally friendly. How do you source your ingredients?
Well, Yasmin, that's exactly it right there. It is about sourcing your ingredients and knowing where your ingredients actually come from. So farm to table literally means it's the freshest that you can possibly get. It's not been sitting on a supermarket shelf or in a fridge for a couple of days. It's literally coming from the ground to your table with the least amount of travel and distance in between you and your product. So, it's nutritionally high. It is the best quality it possibly could be. It's also seasonal. So you know what you're getting when you're getting. And when you purchase seasonal products as well, it's in abundance. So economically, the price is a lot better. It's a little bit cheaper. Whereas if it's not in season, you tend to pay a premium price for a product that, well, it's really not that great, especially if it's imported, because it's traveling from a distance and it's not farm to table then. So for me, farm to table is all about knowing where your food comes from. It must be traceable. Farm to table can also extend to seafood as well as to meats as well, animal husbandry, knowing where your stuff comes from, aquaponics, how it's grown. Are they using insecticides? Are they using pesticides? All this actually affects what you put on your plate at the end of the day. So bearing in mind, when you purchase a product, you want to know where it's coming from. And the only way to really do that is ask the questions. Get to know your suppliers. Get to know your greengrocers. Ask them where they're sourcing their stuff from. Which farm is it coming from? How far? What is the distance? And from there, you can really put farm to table in your kitchen in a very easy way.
Wow.
It's knowledge. It's all about knowledge.
Knowing what you're putting inside your body and healthy stuff. That's what we're
100%.
looking at. Okay. So how do you ensure the versatility and appeal of different palates?
Versatility. I always believe that you can't please one all at the same time. Everybody likes different things. Some people might like eggplant, some people might not. Some people might like spicy food, others might not. So when I put my product range together, I try to have as many of them as I possibly can to meet those different expectations and to cater for those palates. And I'm very aware of, good eating and what I actually want to feed people. I always say I would never let other people eat what I do not feed myself or my own family. That's very important for me. In terms of versatility, an example would be my product or the ranchero salad dressing, for example. The label says salad seasoning on it, and yes, it can be used as a salad seasoning, but in actual fact, this product goes such a long way. So you know, when you buy a bottle of salad dressing at the end or at the back, at the reverse, I'm what you call a label junkie. I always like to read my labels to find out what's in there. And I would strongly encourage others to do the same so you know what you're actually putting into your body when you are consuming that product. So with the salad dressings, they usually have lots of preservatives in there and artificial flavorings. And with mine, you don't. And also with the others, they need to be refrigerated or they need to be eaten, consumed within a certain time frame. So generally, it will say consume within 2 weeks of opening and so forth. Now, with mine, they can last up to 6 months in your cupboard. So it goes a long way. And you only need, for example, 2 teaspoonful of this mix, and you mix it in a cup of buttermilk, whisk it together, and that's all you do. So minimum effort, minimum fuss. But it's almost as though you've had me stand in your kitchen, make you a restaurant quality, fresh, made to order salad dressing right there in a matter of minutes. So in terms of versatility, every single one of these products can be used in a multitude of different ways. And the salad dressing that I just spoke about can be used as a dip for crudités. It can be used as a sauce in your pizza or your shawarmas.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you have salad dressing left over, then you can marinate your raw chicken breast in there for buttermilk chicken. I also have a dessert spice that is great in bread doughs, in cookie doughs, in smoothies, in oatmeals, in talbina, which is a sunnah porridge. Um, and it can also be used in your coffee. So every single product has at least 5 to 6 different uses. And that's how I ensure the versatility that you actually get more out than just buying a normal product.
Okay. So I can use it in various different ways, which is amazing. That's
Correct.
amazing.
And then it is, I do specify how many ways you can use it on the label. So if you read the labels, it will tell you. I have something called the Joy Mix. And the reason I called it the Joy Mix is that it honestly brings me so much joy, alhamdulillah, to use this product because it's got sesame seeds in it, it's got poppy seeds. So lots of antioxidants and lots of beautiful nutrition coming out there. So, you know, when you struggle to get your kids to eat healthily, this is the type of stuff you want to kind of sprinkle on their eggs, on their Turkish eggs, on their avo toast. You can use it to toss. Say you get home one day and you're really tired and you want pasta, but you don't have time to make a pasta sauce.
Mm.
Just tossing some hot pasta with some extra virgin olive oil and a couple of tablespoons of the spice mix gives you a ready dressed pasta that you can have either hot or cold. In addition, mixing it with olive oil turns it into a wet rub, and you can use it as a marinade for your salmon, your chicken, your beef, your meat. So it really does go a long way.
Oh, wow. And where do we get hold of you, or how do we get in touch with you if we want to purchase your products, or where can we find them?
So anywhere around the country or the world, you can actually find me on my social media. My Instagram is chef_Zana. That's Zana. It's short for Farzana. So chef_Zana. I'm also on TikTok. I'm also on Facebook and on Threads as well. But I think Instagram and the order line on WhatsApp is the easiest way to actually get me. And you can also follow the Zana Alvarado collection on Instagram, and any information you need is going to be on there. I'm also doing tutorials on how to actually use the products and order via that as well. And one thing I do want to say, if you are in South Africa, specifically in Joburg, or planning to travel to Joburg from the 29th of February to the 3rd of March, please find me live doing cooking demos at Eat Fest. Eat Fest is a premier, well, let's just say it is Africa's premier shopping festival. It's the largest shopping festival on the entire continent. And if you want to do your planning for Ramadan and your prep for Eid, this is the place to be. Do not miss it. I will be there for all 4 days. I've got 16 demos, live cooking
Oh,
demos on
wow.
global cuisines. So if you want, come and cook with me. I'm going to be offering some really amazing prizes. My product range will be there. I'll also be offering my speciality. So those of you who do know me, I am a specialist in Latin American cuisine, and one of my brands is Filigrana, where I oversee Filigrana, which is Peruvian treats, authentic, and then I co-own Mestizo. With the owner of Filigrana. And what that is all about is Mexican cuisine at its finest. We do the most authentic birria tacos.
Oh,
In fact, we
wow.
have some of our chilies imported from Mexico City. And yeah, a lot of our clients are actually Latin Americans here. So the flavor profile is authentic. We will be at East Thursday, 29th February until Sunday, the 3rd of March. Check it out online as well. And do pop by, see what it's all about. It is going to be amazing.
Great. We look forward to seeing you there. Okay, we're going to break for a quick ad. And when we get back, we'll be chatting more with Chef Zana Alvarado.
People of Palestine need your support now. Africa Africa Muslims Agency is on the ground, already providing food, medication, and emergency supplies in Gaza. Donate any amount to Heal Palestine at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
When you give water, you're reaching out to drought-affected areas, bringing them to life. Fresh water to drink, to clean, and to grow. That's the power of water. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster. Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
That was not really my first message. I had heard several messages, and in response to my initial messages that were condemning both the killing of Israelis and the killing of Palestinians and the devastating impact on hospitals, schools, and civilian infrastructure. I got a response that was positive in the majority of responses, but a few didn't feel that it was good to empathize and sympathize with Palestinian civilians. And some even sent me WhatsApp messages about the need for me to take a stance that only condemned Hamas. And so I issued that tweet to explain to people that I would rather side with justice.
Professor Truly Madon Selas.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity. Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. I'm here with Chef Zana. She's the creator of Zana Alvarado Collection, her very own range of pantry products that bring the restaurant flavor to your home. Welcome back, Chef Zana. Let's get back into it. Now, I know you mentioned earlier that you traveled extensively. How did that play a part when it came to the influence with your food philosophy?
I think travel for anybody actually really broadens your mind. It teaches you a lot about the cultures that you're going to, the places that you go to, the cuisines that you eat. And one of the things I've often, what I was very quick at learning is that every dish has a story. Every food has an origin. And when I cook, I try to be a purist in that. And that affects my food philosophy greatly. I'm a purist in the sense that I want to pay homage to that culture, that dish, that iconic flavor. And it's a way of me showing respect to that culture and that nation for the dish that they have actually originated. So my food philosophy is very much about purity. It's very seldom that you would find me doing fusion food. I've got nothing against fusion food. Some of it is lovely, but just my food philosophy is all about honoring the dish and the culture from which it came.
So what different cultures have you explored, or have you stuck to or enjoy? What's your favorite?
Let's put it this way. Wow. I can't exactly pick out a single one. I've had the good fortune of traveling to approximately 72 cities, and every
Oh,
single
wow.
one of them was so diverse in what it offered, from its breathtaking scenery to its culture to the people to what I learned to the innate personal experiences I had in every single place. And I think all these experiences, they touch you as a person, they teach you something, and it definitely influences me in some way or the other as to how I think about things. My approach is very global. The food I tend to do tends to be very Mediterranean, very continental in its approach. I also love the flavors from the Middle East and from North Africa, but primarily the freshness of the Mediterranean region really appeals to me. The rich olive oils, the robust tomatoes, the lovely, the lovely fresh
Yes.
seafood. All of that is something that I really put into my food, my menus. When I create my menus, those speak to me greatly. It's how I love to eat and how I wish that more people could actually eat, just by enjoying natural products that much more. And right now, the current trend worldwide in terms of innovation and innovative, or rather advancement within the culinary industry, is very much plant-based, which again comes from farm to table. People are looking at reducing their carbon footprint. The consumption of meat is one of the highest carbon footprints we have. It's one of the most devastating, it has one of the most devastating effects on our natural environments in terms of what it takes to actually raise a cow, for example, and prep it to be able to be suitable for consumption. Whereas plant-based eating or the plant-based movement is very conscious of the environment and how the world is actually changing to meet those needs as the climate changes. So I really, in terms of food philosophy, I really wish that more people would be open to this idea, more people would be aware of this and educate themselves about it. There's so much of material online. We need to make more sustainable choices with how we eat. In fact, when you talk about my collection, for those of you who have purchased it or noticed the logo on screen, you would see that the logo is actually a bee. Now, if we go back into my religion, for example, I'm Muslim. So if you go back into Islam and you look at our holy book, the Quran, there is Surah Al-Nal, which is the chapter of the bee, right? And have we actually ever stopped to wonder, why is the bee talked about in the Holy Quran? I mean, this is our book that we based our lifestyles on, our choices on, we look to for guidance. Why is it that God is focusing our attention on a bee, the humble bee? So for those of us that actually look into it, and let me come closer to where we are right now, we'll come back to, I think it was 2015 or 2016, UNESCO actually has proclaimed that the bee is actually the most important organism on the entire planet. And one might ask themselves, but how is that a creature so small can be the most important organism on the planet? And this is something that Allah has tried to tell us in the Quran. The bee is simply the most important organism on the planet because the bee pollinates our food sources. Let that sink in for a moment. The bee population pollinates our food sources, meaning if the bee population dies out, and we know that it's currently declining, so we do
Yes.
have to save our bees. If the bee population dies out, we simply will not have food pollinated, meaning we simply will not have natural food anymore, and i.e. that will eventually spell the end of the human race because we cannot survive without food. So when I did the design for this, naturally I chose the bee as the logo for two reasons. Number one, because my Quran is pointing to me how important this little minuscule creature is. Not only does it give us food that is medicine, it also is the reason we are all here and we have food on our plates every single day.
Subhanallah, that's very, very insightful,
Subhanallah, that's all we
Jazakallah.
can say. I mean, it's amazing. It's
Exactly.
really amazing.
There's no words. There's no words to describe that. But on a lighter note, I know you
Everything
were
is so interlinked. Everything
yes,
in nature is so interlinked.
and that it takes us back to then the farm to table and bringing it the natural source as natural as possible. And yeah, well done to that. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Well done to you. And now I know you were the first woman champion to win the BRM National Burger Challenge. Do you want to share more for our listeners?
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? To be really honest, I was not even going to enter this national competition. I entered because there were a few people that said, go and compete. We want to see you cook. We want to see you do this. We want to just get you in there and see what you can do. And I thought, all right, yeah, let me try. Let me go in for the fun of it. And I want to go in and just kind of do my all. But I think it was the day before the competition. I actually thought, I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to enter this and put my
The
heart
day
out there
before.
and give it my best shot. And there were 200 entries from all over the country. I mean, there were chefs that flew in from everywhere: Polokwane, Limpopo,
Wow.
Cape Town, that participated in this. 200 entries that were brought down to 30 finalists. From 30 finalists, they called out the names for the 6 best, and there was one winner, which was me. I'm the first woman to ever win this competition, and I'm small in stature. I'm quite, I'm very petite. That the trophy was almost half the size of me. I kid you not. But it was the most amazing, I would say, not just win for me, but a win for women in culinary. I'm the current national chairperson for SA Chefs Women in Culinary. So I work really hard to upgrade the profile of women in this industry. It is a very male dominated industry. So we do have to work twice as hard as our male counterparts. But I'm certain that the steps we are taking now, we are laying the foundations in such a way that hopefully in a few years' time, women will have that equal platform the way the males in the industry actually do. We are just as hardworking. We are talented just as much. We bring a different set of ethos and nurturing to the kitchen that is not there from a male perspective, because women are built differently. We think
Yeah.
differently. We are nurturers and caregivers, and we're a lot more compassionate. It's just the way our biology works. So we bring in a whole different set of skills in that perspective. And in, as much as I say that as well, I just want to say that we're not here to compete with our male counterparts. We're here very much to complement our kitchen brigade. And at the end of the day, when a tourist comes into South Africa, or you yourself goes in to eat at a restaurant, you don't ask the question about who cooked my food. Was it a man or a woman? You were just concerned with how good the food was or how good the food wasn't. So my philosophy is we are all ambassadors for our country's cuisine. And as women, we have a very strong and important role to play because our needs are different. We have maternity leave to go on, for example. So we need to have that equal level playing field. And Fair Kitchens is now a global movement where we are encouraging the equal treatment of people throughout the world, irrespective of gender, irrespective of religious beliefs, equal treatment in Fair Kitchens. With women in culinary, we are the first. I mean, South Africa, and I'm so proud to say that South Africa is the first country to pioneer a platform for women chefs in the industry. I see now the UAE has now established one in recent months. Women in Culinary in South Africa has been going for about 5 or 6 years, and it is only this year. I've been national chairperson for just over a year now, and in this year, we've made amazing strides. We've got a foothold, literally, almost nationally. I've established regional committees in 7 regions throughout South Africa, with just the Eastern Cape and the Northern Cape remaining. And once that's done, literally, we will have a national footprint. So I could not be more proud of my team that has helped me, because I did not do this alone. I have a team of very strong, capable, independent, go-getter women around me that are really passionate to raise the bar. And this is what we're doing.
Oh, that's amazing. I wouldn't have thought. I mean, we as women, we're cooking every day in the kitchen. So yeah, like we do bring something to the table, and well done for that.
Absolutely. Although I must say, though, that cooking at home is very different from actually being a professional chef. It's a complete discipline altogether. I mean, I often have people say, I'm a home chef, or I do this and I'm a chef. But a chef is a specific discipline that one trains for to get the knowledge and to get an international knowledge. It's not just learning about cooking. It's about everything around it. It's about sustainability, how we influence people, how we influence trends. I was very fortunate to attend 2 years ago in 2022, the World Chefs Congress in Abu Dhabi, where I got to meet some serious key players in the industry from, different presidents of different world societies all over, from the Seychelles to Cuba, at this platform. And it was just such an amazing, eye-opening experience that what we call the power of the white jacket. I mean, this is the words that is frequently used by Chef Thomas Kugler, who is the president of the World Chefs Association. We talk about the power of the white jacket, how chefs can influence people to make purchasing decisions or eating decisions in order to change things, to be more mindful about what we are putting into our bodies, and to educate people to make proper decisions that don't adversely affect our environments or our natural resources, because that is something we need to be fully aware of as consumers, not just chefs, but people that eat at home. How we buy our seafood, is it endangered seafood? How has it been farmed? Has it been sustainably farmed? You know, there are certain seafood that we have in South Africa that are in quick depletion. So I am one of the national brand ambassadors for SASSI, which is the World Wildlife Fund. I'm sure you're all familiar with the little black and white panda logo. So the local of that is WWF actually runs SASSI, which is the Southern African Sustainable Seafood Initiative, where we work with marine biologists, marine scientists on the preservation and conservation of our country's natural coastline, where we identify which seafood is actually being endangered, where we identify how we are actually going to start farming that to increase that again, overfishing, trawlers and illegal fishing, they're killing the seafood industry. So these are things that we as consumers need to be aware of. There are apps available that you can download free of charge that will tell you what seafood is endangered on a regular daily basis. You can find out, is it Cape Yellowtail? Is it keelback? Is it kingklip? Just buy an app. So we can all use these little things to make conscious decisions when we go out and we source our food, whether it be at a fishmonger or a butcher or even a normal grocery store. So,
Definitely.
you know, with this discipline, chefs, it's a title that is earned. We don't just go to culinary school for a year or 2 years. It comes with experience to be able to earn the title chef. So I always say that, you know, if my son falls and scratches his knee, and if I put a Band-Aid on, it does not make me a pediatrician, and it certainly does not make me a doctor. I have to go and have the rite of passage and study in to order to call myself a doctor. And likewise with chefs, you know, we have to earn the right to use that title. So not just anybody can be a chef. And I think us chefs do kind of have that gripe, because the term is very widely and very badly used in a lot of circumstances. It's just thrown around when it shouldn't actually be that case.
Okay, what advice would you give our listeners who want to get into the culinary industry?
You have to be passionate about it. You either love cooking or you don't love cooking, and that's the bottom line. You have to be tough. It's a tough, competitive, fast-moving, ever-changing environment. You have to have a thick skin, know how to take criticism. And what's very important is that know that criticism is never a negative thing. If it teaches you to grow, to develop, to learn, then it can only be a positive thing. Never ever see criticism as something that's negative. Learn every single day, because even the best chefs in the world, even the Michelin-starred chefs in the world, are still learning every day. Nobody knows everything, especially not in an environment that is constantly dynamic, constantly changing. We need to keep ahead of the times. We need to be aware of what's happening in other countries. We have to be aware of innovation and advancement within our industry. And inevitably, you have to enjoy it. You know, all those memes that you see about chefs, and I'm sure you've seen it, chefs sitting at the back counter on a crate just eating a peanut butter sandwich. People laugh about it and think, oh, wow, look, it's so funny. That's actually not. That's the real truth. Sometimes when we are out there cooking for 9 or 10 hours, we're so passionate and driven. We don't necessarily want to leave our stations or leave what we're doing into the hands of another chef. We want to cook from start to finish and get it to completion and then present it to the diner. So it's very rare that we actually would leave our station unless we have to, absolutely have to. And there are times where I would get home and my family would say to you, but why are you starving? You've been surrounded by great food all the time, all day. Yeah, because I didn't have a chance to actually eat. So I'm getting home and I'm getting baked beans on toast and I'm having toasted cheese. It is a reality, you know. We are just normal people at the end of the day. We do 16-hour days sometimes, but
We seem to have lost Chef Zana there. She seemed to have cut. When we come back, let's see if we can get her back online just so she can give us more information. But we'll do that. There we go. We've got Solani is trying to get us back online with Chef Zana to wrap it up.
This is Salam Media.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Our brothers and sisters in Palestine are enduring unimaginable.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. We're back with you, Chef Zana. I know we lost visual. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we seem to have lost visual, but that's fine. I wanted to, before we wrap up, I wanted to know, you're a published author and food social media influencer. So how do you balance the creating content for your followers and managing a successful business? That was my one question I wanted to ask you before we wrap up today. Hello? We seem to have lost. I think we have lost Chef Zana. So hopefully in the future we'll get to chat to her again. You can check out Chef Zana. Follow her on her Instagram at Chef Zana. Zana Alvarado Collection at Zana Alvarado Collection on Instagram to reach out more, to find out more about her collection. And when we get back from the break, we're going to be speaking to I've got you, Nasira Turkey and Aisha Banji from the Be Selfless Foundation. That's when we get back from the break.